the number one best investment you can make, even before assets, is yourself and your mindset, as is the common topic and theme that's been talked about in this video. I'd say the number one best investment is in yourself. And when you find a teacher who has obviously can teach well but also has hard proof of what they've taught and the results, and that's someone you can trust. So for anyone who's on the fence, whether it's DAS, crypto start, anything you're looking at to better yourself, better your mindset, better your skills, it's always worth it once you've kind of seen, okay, this teacher actually has fruit and has results, tangible results, real results. The money that you'll put into, it's not even about the money, but it's about what you get out of it. So don't look at the cost, don't look at that. Look beyond that. Look 6 months, a year, 5 years after you've put that money in and what it will do for you. So that's my
All right, Tiffany, I'm so excited for our conversation today. You are truly incredible and honestly one of the youngest people that have chosen to take their future by the reins and be like, I'm gonna learn something new, even though you're young, not get into the hype of it all, and actually realize how to solidify your foundation and knowledge within the crypto space. And
Mhm.
so I'd love for you to just kind of share initially about where you were before you got in, how you kind of got introduced to crypto,
Mhm.
and then obviously what steps you
Yeah.
took to start learning.
Absolutely. Well, first, I love you, Kinley. So I'm so excited to be having this discussion with you. Where I was before, like understanding crypto, as I was more so familiar with traditional assets, like hard assets, like real estate, and then stocks, things of that nature. I knew crypto existed, and I knew Bitcoin was existed because that was the main thing that media would tell us people about, like Bitcoin, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. I didn't know that there were other projects or other tokens and coins that people could get involved into. So yeah.
So honestly, most people do think that crypto is only Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that that overlying belief is something that we obviously help break down of like, no, there's actual other cryptos, there's the utility cryptos, and how to actually get in and safely position yourself within the space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me, was it a mindset thing that changed for you? Because honestly, you're one of the few individuals like our age that I see actually going after life,
Mm-hmm.
actually looking into new investments like real estate, the stock market,
Mm-hmm.
everything. You were actually open to that, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of our age people are typically open to thinking
Mm-hmm.
long term. Like,
Right.
let me build something that lasts.
Yeah.
So tell me what kind of shifted in your mindset with crypto, because I know you were already in
Yeah.
as in these other investments, but what kind of shifted with crypto?
Absolutely. With crypto, the mindset shift came first before I saw like any tangible gains in my crypto portfolio. And specifically within my mindset, it was more so learning about how my personality when it comes to investing, like my risk tolerance. And I guess the biggest challenge there was broadening my risk tolerance because, as you said, we're on the younger side of investing in crypto. So a fact is I have more time in front of me
Yeah.
versus me being in my 40s or 50s, kind of having less time in life. But either way, no matter what your age is, there's obviously there's projects that are doing well in this space, and it's just a matter of fact of knowing your personality when it comes to investing and then researching as well to actually find the hard facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is so good. That's actually something that, on another note, not necessarily the crypto side of things, but I know we've talked personal growth
Mm-hmm.
and development. It's like if you want a new belief, you have to be able to find the proof of that new belief
Right.
and not just allow subconscious thoughts. So it's like if you want to step out and be an investor, a successful investor,
Mm.
and look at the new opportunities, instead of just seeing the risk. Like
Yeah.
frame it as what is the opportunity in this and not just the risk. Really reframing those beliefs are huge. So I love that about you, and I see that in you all the time, honestly, that I'm like, okay, she's really somebody that is going to take something and not just be like, this is risky, but how can I make this not risky to to prove successful, honestly. Um, so for those people like around you, were people telling you things different, like, oh, maybe don't get in, or kind of encouraging you in the opposite direction? Where kind of were you in that
That's such a
threshold?
good question. Actually, it wasn't anyone around me that was saying, oh, don't invest in crypto, don't do this. It's actually the same dogma that's preached within mainstream media and like your traditional finance personalities, whether it's online or television, or even well known ones that say the same thing like, save 20%, invest in your Roth IRA, do it for 50 plus years, and then when you're 60 or 70 and decrepit, then you can realize those gains. And that's a play, and it's worked for people. It's worked, obviously. But I didn't want to just do that. Honestly, I didn't just want to wait till I was older to see gains. And I wanted to see, is there an alternative path to where I could still be youthful and enjoy the fruit of my hands? So that is honestly the biggest hurdle I had to overcome, going against the regular preached flow of how to invest. So yeah.
Okay, so then since you have been in other investments and you currently are, right?
Yeah.
What is your view take on like those investments versus crypto, obviously, but how have you seen the difference in each of those investments? And if I'm not mistaken, I think that you're probably up in your portfolio within crypto, even in this down market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say the biggest difference between both asset classes of, as of course in crypto it's more volatile, and then like the traditional investments it's very slow and slow to realize any gains. But I kind of like that balance, honestly. I really do. And with crypto, it's more of like a long term game. Of course, there's coins, hype coins that come and go. But with when researching and finding those projects that actually have a vision to serve or to solve a problem, then you can bring like a long term asset to that as you would the regular traditional assets.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, and then what are you doing currently? So just give us kind of an overall view of what does Tiffany's life look like?
Yeah,
And what do you love doing? And how you
absolutely.
haven't had to be like a crypto nerd in this thing, but also like you're involved and you know what's
Yeah,
going on as a 20
absolutely.
something year old.
Yeah. And I can relate to other 20 something year olds. Like, I also do work a regular job. On the side, I do make content online. So that's another source of income for me. And then in my free time,
Give us a shout out.
huh?
You gotta give yourself a shout out.
Yes.
What's your Spotify?
You can go to my YouTube. That's why I'm pushing everyone. Go to my
Okay.
YouTube, and yes. Um,
Which
and then
is
my first name, Tiffany, and then my last name, which is quite long, but, but it's ONWUDINANTI. So yeah, that's where I'm most active. And yeah, outside of those two things, I'm definitely just a student at heart with my passion in content creating and online business. So yeah, that's definitely where my attention goes. So I didn't come from a trust fund family at all. I'm definitely relatable to someone who is my age, working, or maybe still in school and wants to get into crypto. So you don't have to be someone special, but definitely come with an attitude to learn.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
so good. And I know this is kind of a maybe more of an ending question, but I would say like since we are on the topic of you being younger, me being younger, it's been difficult for both Kaylin and I to fully be able to help those that are our age and inspire them to want to build something 5 years from now
Yeah.
versus the quick, get rich quick
Right.
propaganda that is out there. I mean, it can happen. People can get into high ticket sales. You can do different things.
Of course.
But being able to build something solid, honestly, foundational, and for us, believe in this once in a lifetime opportunity of this
Yeah.
isn't just a technology advancement, it's literally financial technology advancement. And when we can grasp that, it's like we're young, Tiffany.
Absolutely.
Like we can go for it and lay that foundation. But I see a lot of people our age that don't really want to necessarily jump into something like this. Do you have thoughts on why that might be? And then thoughts on like how we can spur them to
Yeah.
jump into it?
I mean, honestly, thoughts that might be is kind of something I hinted earlier with just the traditional advice of, putting your money into a traditional brokerage account. It's been repeated for years and years and years and years and years. And now something new has come up. It can almost feel challenging. Like, what is this new thing that's going against something that's been preached for so long? So that's the challenge. And then not to say like also social media and just algorithms of people kind of sharing their progress and doing that, it also kind of reaffirms that traditional way of investing. So anytime like you guys bringing this new way of thinking about where to put your money, it can be challenging going against an old mindset. But a way to go against that is, I honestly want to see people like you and like other new people, personalities, like be successful so your voice is heard on a louder spectrum so people can hear you, and versus just the traditional way. So I'd say it's just keep repeating what you're doing, like keep sharing this new way of investing. And yeah, only time, my favorite verse in Proverbs is wisdom is vindicated by her children. And children take time to grow up, but they do and they will. And I see that with wisdom in this new way of investing. The outcome will come and show that either we were right or we were wrong. And I'm leaning that we're going to be right in what's obviously changing in the financial market.
That's good. That's solid. I love that answer. And I do think that it is like we just kind of keep going. And honestly, the more we keep stepping out and getting in front of different people, a lot of people are like, you guys need to reach the young people. Like that's where it's at. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like how do we fully get their buy-in to
Yeah.
something like this without it just being that get rich quick? But I think if you can see long term and honestly just have a solid foundation, that's something I've loved about you and your mindset, Tiffany, is like prior to even coming into Crypto Star and our DAS community, you had this growth oriented mindset. Like, I am going to grow, I'm going to put my hand to something. And so I really want to instill that into our generation of people because we are the future generation that is going to be adopting this. And it's like if the financial system, let's just take this for example, the financial system is changing drastically. And one of the things that we talk about, obviously, in Invest 360, and you know this, is the parallel economy. And so us being able to be positioned in this time period in the correct way can actually help brace a lot of different people that are just going to be subject to the change.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just think that that is something so powerful that we are a part of in our generation. So how do you see yourself kind of utilizing crypto going forward? Since you're already invested, you know where it's going long term, you have a good grasp and understanding of the foundation of the financial system and different things. How do you see that kind of playing out with where your vision is, your ultimate overall vision is, and the confidence level you have with your investments?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say short term, of course, I do want to see yield from my investments. But then even on like a long-term play, I want to instill the same mindset to my children. And I feel like I'm in a great place where I can start preparing for when I get married and when I have kids. Like I want to actually pass this on to them, not just the knowledge, but like the assets themselves, and kind of instill what it took to get to this level. So I'm thinking, yes, of course, short term yield and all the great stuff, but long term, I want to pass this on to them. So
Gosh, I love
yeah,
that so much because, again, and I feel like I'm like beating a dead horse, but like you don't see that with our generation of
yeah,
people. But I'm like, we can do it, people. Like, we
mm-hmm,
can build. This is like the whole thing with like the Rothschilds, right? It's
mm-hmm,
like they understood how to pass down wealth from
right,
generation to generation to generation. I'm not saying they're perfect or we
right,
should be doing everything that they're doing, but
of
I am
course,
saying there's principles that we can learn, and obviously we're bringing to Invest 360 that can we can gather as the body of Christ and
mm-hmm,
literally help propel each other forward into their God-given purpose. Um,
absolutely,
yeah, I just love that. So let's just dive into this really quick.
mm-hmm,
But your mindset, and the mindset that you're wanting to pass down to generations.
yeah,
Do you want to kind of share some of like your mindset on life, mindset on maybe some of these investments? I know you
yeah,
kind of shared a little bit, but I know in talking to you, we both have so much. Sometimes when we do get to talk,
mm-hmm,
it's been a long time since we've got to like even have a
yeah.
face-to-face conversation like this. But like, just share with me some of the different mindset things that you've been seeing and growing in recently.
Absolutely. Man.
Sorry to put you on the spot there.
No, this is really good. I'm gonna have to think for a little bit, but
No, that's fine.
um, mindset. Gosh, I think the biggest, of course, one of the longest. Oh, what am I trying to say?
No, you're good.
um, I'd say in my like a big principle I'm definitely that has helped me and I want to grow in continually is consistency. First off, from like an identity mindset, like who am I? Who is Tiffany? How does she carry herself? How does she speak? How does she think about herself? How does she think about others? So first, like consistency in my identity first, and I see that honestly spread out into every other area into my life. So not just finances, but health, all these other things, and of course, finances is affected by that. And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
another thing that I feel like would benefit other young people who may be listening to this is, and something like talking on the topic of mindset is when you want to grow in something and you come across this like wall of fear or just like insecurity, that is not a sign to stop. That is a sign to that you need to actually push through and like crush through that wall, because I'm a Christian. Obviously, the enemy does not want you to get over that because of who you will become and what you will realize. Honestly, I experienced this just this past weekend on a trip. I was just fear thoughts. Again, anytime you come against those things of insecurity, that's not your thus saith the Lord God, you need to stop. No, it's you need to actually get over that, because man, who you will become on the other side and who you are, like we'll see on the other side, it's terrifying to the enemy. It's terrifying. So I'd say those are like the top two things when it comes to like mindset that have been introduced to and I'm continually growing in. So yeah.
Honestly, that's so good. Wow, that makes me just want to stop and think of certain areas. Honestly, for
Yeah.
those that are watching this, like think about those certain areas that you've come up against and had fear. Because like even I'm thinking now of like certain areas that oh boy, can I do that? Like there's just a level of fear there, or what some would almost misinterpret as like a lack of peace.
Right.
And yeah, and so I think sometimes, especially, I'll just say this, in the Christian realm, we misinterpret what might be we're fearful of versus peace and like where are we being led, and what is the fear just your fear, or is it peace? So I think that that's something that we could actually dive deeper into, because I do know that even people have come to us and they're like, I want to take your program. Obviously, we have an amazing kingdom minded community, and we welcome obviously non believers, but we
Absolutely.
definitely follow the laws of God, and it obviously works. Like, we have a very successful, thought provoking community. But I would say some people, they say, okay, well, I'm going to pray about it. And I'm like, okay. Half of the time, a lot of people pray about it, and I'm saying this respectfully. A lot of people come back and then they're like, I lack peace. I don't have peace about it. But then when we dig and ask certain questions, they actually come to the conclusion that why they didn't want to start is because they're fearful of the outcome, or fearful to enter into the opportunity. And so I think you hit it perfectly on that fear spot. It's like, when there is a moment of fear, it's ask yourself, is it really a lack of peace, or am I just fearful
Right.
in the situation? And so, yeah, that's so good. Now I'm thinking and I'm like, okay, let me just write in my journal. This is why I like talking to you, and I enjoy the calls when you ask those thought-provoking questions in our community as well. Wow, solid.
Amen.
Yes. Okay, well, let's see here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to touch on, and I know this is a little bit different than all just crypto, but I think with our age group of people, I do think it all comes down to mindset, your beliefs, and your finances grow as your mindset and you grow.
It's
The
good.
more you can grow as an individual, as a person, the more your finances will actually be able to expand and be elevated to that level.
Yeah.
But when we're so tied in and having things so close to us, um, without being able to give them up, I think that we lack that growth side of things. And so, anyway, I just wanted to tap into this unexpectedly, um, kind of going from crypto to this mindset shift. But it's interesting because Kaylin and I were actually watching a podcast the other night about like our fascia and how our body is made up of 90%, basically like 90% water, or our fascia is like 80% water or whatever. And it's just amazing to see like this plant right here. I will speak, it's a real plant, by the way. I'll speak to it, and there will be life. I mean, it's a proven scientific thing. It's like if
Yeah.
you speak negative to this plant, it will die. But if
Yeah.
you speak positive, things will grow. And so for us and our life and what we're going through, I think it's so powerful to, before you jump into investing, before you started crypto, Tiffany, you were a growth oriented person. You spoke positive things over your life. You had your visions and your goals lined out for you. So, if you don't mind me asking, can you dive into some of that and how you as a growth person have improved your life through some of those things? And it doesn't start with just finances. It starts with your mindset and your mentality. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Man, honestly, I think the first thing that helped me was being so honest on what I wanted out of life, and then being unapologetic about it, because I mean, you know this, you can think so big, so big. And other people around you, not downplaying them at all, but they don't want to go that direction, or they don't want to think that big, and that's perfectly okay. Oh, fine. So for me, it was definitely being unapologetic about what I wanted. And for me, honestly, I definitely want to see more people like me, like Christians, who want to take who want to be an influence in the media realm, media mountain. So with that, I was like, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many reps, I'm going to commit to this because I know, first of all, this was a God vision. I didn't come to this myself. I've surrendered it multiple times, yet it keeps coming up. But the thing, as I mentioned earlier, consistency was another big thing. Just being consistent to the process, and then being unapologetic about it. Like, it is. So we need big thinkers. We need people who are crazy and want to go for it and aren't afraid to fail. So
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Okay, so then, so since you're in, everything's good, what is it for you that if you don't think that you joined DAS community or have gotten into crypto, where do you think that you would be had you not taken the opportunity?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still would have done the traditional investing route, you know.
Yeah.
And I honestly would have probably fallen into the traditional news about crypto, aka what's known as Bitcoin, but like I just would have followed what the news was saying, what is preached on CNN or Fox Business. I don't know. I honestly just would have fallen into it because I didn't think there was another side of these other projects and these other things. So, and then I think I honestly would have just followed the traditional meme coin, like, oh, invest in this coin and then it'll go up 1,000x, and then it's like a complete rug pull. So, I honestly would have fallen for that and just would have put my money in, taken it out, put my money in, taken it out, put my money in, taken it out. Like,
Yeah.
so it would have been really inconsistent.
Okay, that's a really good perspective to have actually, because I've seen that with people time and time again. It's like for us, people will ask, well, what are you invested in? What are you invested in? Okay, I can tell you what I'm invested in 1,000 times, but if you don't have the right mindset, it comes back to mindset on how you're handling your investments, you're not going to be able to stay very long in this market, you know? And so that is one thing for us of why we don't just explicitly be like, this is what we're invested in, this is how we do it. It's like you have to ground yourself first and understand why you're invested in it, because otherwise, like you said, I'll probably put my money in, pull it out, you know, and it's like this
Exactly.
back and forth tug with yourself
Yeah.
because you see opportunity, but you don't know how to tackle it and be
Yeah.
like, okay, this is what I want. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for you, with what is the one thing I would say that you've seen has changed that you've been surprised with within yourself?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but okay.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that has changed um, in me when it comes back to mindset, but not falling for the first headline that you see when it comes to like crypto. And I think my analytical skills have definitely grown. Like, and I'm asking more questions and I'm connecting the dots better. Like when one thing happens in the financial markets, I'm able to see, okay, so this is going to affect this and this is going to affect that. So maybe I should take this action. So I feel more empowered, like as an investor, again, versus just waiting for some news outlet to tell me what to do with my money. It's like I'm taking it into my own hands. And if I fail, I'm learning. So it's not really a fail. But if I win, it's like, great. Like
Yeah.
I feel empowered because I did this versus the news telling me what to do.
That is so
Yeah.
good. That's powerful. And honestly, a area that it's like, oh, I really am growing in some of these areas.
Yeah.
So those people around you then, so your friends, your
Yeah.
family, are they invested? Have you tried to get them to look at this opportunity? Where are those people that are around you?
Well, you're my friend, so you're invested. Praise God. But definitely, I have. I know my boss here is definitely invested, so I'm grateful that I'm surrounded by some people who are invested into crypto and aren't just in it like with the short term mindset, but like definitely see the long term play. Um, Definitely have had conversations with my parents about it. Still need to get them across the line to actually, hey, let's put some money in. But yeah, it's definitely a mix for sure.
Mhm. Is it frustrating for you to kind of see some of that of like, okay, come on, let's go, or are you just like, okay, like you just don't get it yet?
I'd say it's a little bit both and, but once I'm able to like share like, hey, this is the growth in my portfolio, that it speaks for itself. So it's like,
That's
gotta
good.
get in. So
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's where I'm like, we've gotten to this spot where we want everybody to be in and
uh,
everybody to recognize the opportunity, but I think those that have the eyes to see will see it. And those that don't, it's just kind of like, okay, like I think again that comes back to Invest 360 and the parallel economy, and
yeah.
I can go so deep into this. I don't even want to like bring the topic up kind of, but it's like it really is. I believe we're being positioned for such a time as this. Like this is the time period that we're growing. It's going to be an interesting ride these next until 2030. Honestly, I think things are moving so rapidly that we're positioned in a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm super excited. I'm glad that you're within our community and going forward, striving
Love it.
forward. Is there any last things that you want to share with the audience or anything like that that could be helpful? I mean, you've shared
Absolutely.
so much already, but
One thing I would share is the number one best investment you can make, even before assets, is yourself and your mindset, as is the common topic and theme that's been talked about in this video. I'd say the number one best investment is in yourself. And when you find a teacher who has obviously can teach well, but also has hard proof of what they've taught and the results, and that's someone you can trust. So for anyone who's on the fence, whether it's DAS, Crypto Start, anything you're looking at to better yourself, better your mindset, better your skills, it's always worth it once you've kind of seen, okay, this teacher actually has fruit and has results, tangible results, real results. The money that you'll put into, it's not even about the money, but it's about what you get out of it. So don't look at the cost. Don't look at that. Look beyond that. Look 6 months, a year, 5 years after you've put that money in, and what it will do for you. So that's my parting thoughts.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so good. And I know all of us that are in this space have invested in ourselves. And I know that you've deeply invested in yourself, not just in crypto, but other areas. And that is truly the fruit that it brings is
Yeah.
investing in yourself. So thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you, Kate.